Okay, here's where we're going to show you, since we just hooked up this corn head, and go to back and toolbox and head 1. We're going to run through the settings here. So the max working height, by setting on this, is going to be where our max working height, so this is going to be where our recording point is going to start and stop for when you're recording your acres. So we're going to leave that alone. Header type's corn, it's a row. This one is a rigid. If you have a foldable head, this is where you would select that. 12 rows in use. 30-inch spacing, all that stuff's pretty simple. Just making sure you're coming through here and have everything turned on and off depends on what you're doing. So this overlap mode you can have on auto, so as you're going down taking less rows, it's working, cutting your acres back for you. And the corn head's in full range. If you wanted to change, there's different ranges, but most corn heads we run in full range of our feeder RPM. Then we go to head 2. Here's where more of our accessories are going to be able to hook up, turn on. So like our header sensors, we got header sensors, no pressure float. Header height tilt response is going to be right here. We don't have the pressure override on this. No height override or the auto header lift. So when we're backing up or doing that stuff, it automatic lifts for you. Our header height raise rate, lower rate, height sensitivity and tilt sensitivity are all part of our calibration. Then we have fine-tuned through these. And our tilt rate, we got that. Reel speed, if we're running automatic for like our end cones or anything on this corn head, you got a 3 mile an hour minimum, so it doesn't drop below that. And then our speed of how much it adjusts. We're running no hydraulic reel and no reel speed sensor, obviously, so no reel on here. And reel position sensor, same way, no. Reel end dividers, yes, we do have the end cones on the header, so we do have the reel end dividers turned to yes. And our deck plates, we're actually hydraulic on this one, so we would select hydraulic or not installed if it was not. Header lateral tilt, we are going to run the lateral tilt, and the auto tilt and headlands, that's if you just want it to level out. Then here comes a big feature for the feeder features for the shift fore and aft. So if we were running a draper head or anything with a pitch on it, you would be going here to change it. And then just on the later 50 series, we can actually change this button on the up and down. We can invert it so it runs backwards that way. So that should be all on those settings. We'll move into the header calibration. We're going to start on the header calibration. You hit back, calibrations, select up here. It's going to be header, and it's going to tell us to park, have the oil warm, all that stuff. The oil warm is going to help with your header height going across the field. So we're going to start. So we come here, and on this machine, push the header down button. The head goes clear to the ground. It's going to drop clear to the ground and make sure it's there. Still tells us over here on the display, determining ground height. So then it says pulse header switch up, so we're going to hit the up switch. Header's going to raise all the way up. Gets all the way up, the display is going to tell us when the position gets there. Now we're going to go back down again, so obviously pushing the header down, we're going to go, the head's going to lower all the way to the ground. We're determining the weight right now, so it's going to move up and down just a little bit to see how much pressure it takes, how much electricity to the valve to raise and lower the head at a smooth rate for us. So you can see it's raised up just a little bit there. It's still working its way up. This step takes a little while, and this step and the next step is going to take just a little bit of time. It's figuring out how much electricity it takes to lower the head smooth with the weight. Now we're on to the fourth step. It's going to tell us to pulse header switch up. This is a step that most of the time gets messed up, because when we hit up, the header goes down. That is what it's supposed to do. So don't worry when you do that. The header does go down. It's coming back up. If you bump one of those buttons, the header raise or lower, when it's going through its calibration, it's going to fail, and we're going to have to start back over at step 1. So let it go. Just don't get worried when you hit up and it goes down. When this step completes, we're going to go through and show you how to set your 1 and 2, or how you want to set your heights, depending on which header and how low you want to run. Calibration complete. So in the next segment, we will show you how to set your header height 1 and 2. Okay, we're going to start out to set your header height settings. You're going to go turn on your separator and then your feeder switch. Got both of those running. We're going to manually set the head down. Corn heads, you want to get pretty close to the ground, set them, and we're going to hit number 2. When we hit number 2, up here on our monitor, Pro 700, our squiggly line went underneath there. So we got header height control. So it's going to follow the ground contour and everything. So then our second setting, we can raise it up a little bit. Say we had some down corn, we were clear down. Now we want to go to a higher cut point. We can hit number 1. This one's going to be a return to cut spot. So when it hits the return to cut, it's going to be a straight line. And then in this situation, you would hit this resume button. So you're going to hold this front shift button and hit this resume button, and it's going to come up to our headland mode. So where our max working height set, it's going to raise up to there. So that is one way. The other way, we've had a few guys, somehow we've really started. We set it clear down on the settings. We'll hit number 2, so we're on the ground. And then the next one, where we want to turn on the end. So when we want to turn on the end, we're going to hit number 1. And there you go. Then you can hit your resume.